Have you ever thought, I'm doing everything right, so why isn't anything happening? You're training, you're eating better, you're staying consistent, but you still don't trust the process. Today we're talking about that feeling and how to push through it. So let's get to it. The absolute hardest part about fitness is waiting for results, because the thing is, not all results are going to be visible, especially not in the beginning. And I think people have this idea that transformations are going to be super quick and it's going to happen fast. Super quick and fast, same thing, but you get my point. And I think social media may have something to do with this, because you see a lot of people posting on there like crazy transformations, only 1 month, maybe even going to the gym for 60 minutes or something crazy like that. And it's gonna give people this idea that you can create these insane transformations in no friggin' time. And that's just not gonna be the case for pretty much 99% of the people in the world. And we never know if anyone is lying about that transformation. This is why it's really important to focus on what is actually changing, because as I said, the visibility, the visible changes doesn't just happen overnight, but getting stronger, being able to lift more weight, feeling better in your clothes, or even just seeing the weight scale change are things that you can focus on while you're on your journey. The big problem I see with people is that they give up during that phase where everything is starting to fall into place, and the good results is going to come if they just kept it going. The thing when it comes to biology, physiology, is that it's slow processes. Building muscle takes a lot of time. That's why we gotta understand that strength comes before muscle size. So focus on what you are able to see, the changes you are able to see. Body doesn't rush, it adapts, and then it changes. So when you look at the long goal, which is, let's say you want to build muscle, you want to change your physique, then you also got to have smaller goals and think more proactively. Like, my big goal is I want to build muscle. My second goal is, smaller goals is I want to hit 100 kilo bench. Let's say you also want to see the weight go up a little bit or weight go down. Like, we got to have small goals so we can try to reach while we're on the big journey. Let's say this is the beginning, this is the end. What about all this? We got to have something in here that's going to keep us going, keep us motivated. Like, for example, my goal today is to try to beat the numbers in the gym. That's why I track my workouts. I track it in my notes, but you can do it on a logbook, on a phone, whatever, because then I come down here and I know what weights I'm gonna have to attack with how many reps. And that's what keeps me motivated today. Some days it's gonna be something completely different. Today is the fact that I'm gonna beat my numbers. So let's see if I can try and beat some of them. One thing we need to understand is that real life struggles makes these things harder. Mental overload, work stress, just stress in general, social pressure, all these things is what makes life difficult sometimes. Having a perfect schedule, perfect training, perfect dieting isn't always going to happen when life interferes. And we don't know if the people who had these transformations really had to deal with a lot of this life stress. So you gotta remember that not every single life is going to be the same. So don't compare yourself to someone who doesn't live your life. That's my main thing I want to talk about in terms of this point, is the fact that we don't live the same life. So we can't compare their transformation to your transformation, especially because we also have different genetics. Everyone is able to get an amazing physique. We don't all have the same genetics. We don't all have the same outcome, the same life, but everyone is able to get a great physique. Whatever that is for you, I'm sure it's possible. It's all about being consistent. It's all about knowing this is your life, this is the problems in your life, this is the things you want to happen in your life, and combine them. Find a way to combine them. Because extreme discipline equals burnout, and it also equals quitting. Balanced habits, they may be slow, but they're permanent. And what we want is something that's long-term, something longevity. We don't need perfect weeks. We don't need perfect weeks. We need repeatable weeks. Weeks of grind, weeks of failure, weeks of going through failures, weeks of learning, and then just getting a little bit better all the time. That's the true way of getting good, of reaching your goals. And this is where we need a mindset change. We need less of outcome focus, scale, mirror, body fat. We need more We need to shift it into a more process focus, which is gonna be habits, effort, discipline, stuff like that. And now, before we get to the next part, I'm gonna drink a little bit of an espresso while sitting on the bike, and then I'm gonna run for a little bit, and then I have to bike home in the cold, but I'm gonna show you later because it's getting -degrees in Denmark. Snow is everywhere, it's crazy, but also at the same time it's beautiful, so I can't wait to show you. This is absolutely amazing. Coming home after a good session, prepared some food. This is one of my absolute staples. Some oatmeal, some applesauce, some blueberries, some cinnamon powder, and then a protein shake on the side. I've had to change from whey protein to soya because my body just can't handle all that lactose. So it's just started, my body is not doing it anymore. After 10 years of drinking protein shakes, my body can't handle the whey anymore. So I've changed to some soya protein, and it also contains all of the 9 essential amino acids. So obviously they're not all essential, but you get my point. They contain all of the aminos. It doesn't taste amazing, which is why I don't combine it with my oat. Normally I just combine it together, but it simply doesn't taste too good. It kind of tastes like baking soda. So it doesn't taste too good, but it's better than nothing. And my stomach, my body, it deals very well with some soya. So amazing. And then another espresso, but the difference between this and the one I drank at the gym is it's caffeine free. At home, I only have caffeine free coffee. I mean, I do have some with caffeine in it, but my main source is going to be caffeine free. I found these amazing beans that taste really good. I'm half Italian, so I need my coffee. So if an Italian can go caffeine free, they must taste pretty good. And I do that because I kind of want to limit the amount I get on a daily basis. The reason why I kind of want to show this as well is just coming home from a good session, getting some good food is part of the process that's going to make the journey good, you know. Appreciating the small things. Coming home after a good workout. It wasn't the best workout today, but I was strong. I did have a good pump. I did manage to get, you know, stronger in some areas. I managed to get a good run in as well, some biking as well. It was very, very good. I can't wait to start running outside again. But this is what it is all about. Having a good session. Some wins, some losses. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna come home to a good meal. And times are good, you know what I'm saying? So that's something you gotta focus on. We gotta focus on what we can achieve, what we can look at the wins. We gotta look at what we are able to achieve. So what we gotta think about is strength in the gym, the energy. How are we sleeping? How is the, you know, mood and mental clarity, even confidence? Because that's all part of the small changes you are able to see before you're starting to see the looks. Like we talked about earlier, this is the timeline. This is the beginning, this is the goal, but in between you're going to notice weight, strength gaining, clarity, mood, energy, sleeping. There's going to be so many things you can look at and see, hey, this actually changed. But sometimes we just need to remove the tunnel vision and be able to see what's actually right in front of us. And that is change. And that is you getting better. Log your workouts, do the best you can, track sleep, track energy, track habits, stuff like that. That's what's gonna make a big difference and make everything worthwhile. Evidence builds belief. So make sure to actually look at the evidence. One thing we all have to remember is that every single person, they doubt the process, they feel stuck, and the people who make it aren't special. They just don't give up doing the boring, tough phases. So that's what you have to do, stick through the tough phases. And just remember, you are not failing, you're just early. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you're getting your goals. If you're not, then please text me. And I'd love to help you get through and get to your goals, because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel like you are moving, you are going somewhere. I'm gonna eat this and then I gotta do some work. But thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.